Hey, good afternoon, Top fans. It's Bill again from TopFanRivalry, here with another good friend of mine, with a different team. I mean, we've talked about Orioles. I don't know if you saw that yet. We've talked about Red Sox. We've talked about Yankees. We've talked about Dodgers. I'm sorry, the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. We've talked about the Angels. They're not doing so well right now. We got some other teams coming up, but tonight, this afternoon, I've got a new one for you. So, Andy, welcome to TopFanRivalry. Welcome to our clubhouse. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks, Bill. It's good to be here, man.
Good to have you. All right. So tell me, who's your team?
The Detroit Tigers.
Woo! Top fans, do you hear that? Detroit Tigers. Yeah.
That's right.
Something new. Something new. I love it. So, how did you become a Tigers fan? Is that random, or did you grow up in the Michigan area? Talk to me.
Okay, so I was born in Dearborn.
Okay.
And my dad was always a Tigers fan. My mom was always a Tigers fan. I didn't really get into it too much until we moved out to California. And that was when I was 7. And then having the Angels nearby, I started really getting more into baseball. And my heart is Detroit. My heart is Detroit Tigers, the Red Wings, the Lions. So my heart is Detroit. And then it really started ramping up when it started getting into like the 2005, 2006 seasons. And then it was about 6-7 years straight of just straight enjoyment, anguish, love, all of that.
Yep. And right now we're going through a little bit of a lull with the Tigers, but I have to tell you, Top fans may or may not agree with me, but there are some teams out there that are historic teams like the Tigers that have been around forever. And it's actually really good for baseball when they're in it. When they're in the playoffs, it's good to see Tigers. It's good to see those guys out there. So did you go to games growing up? I mean, I don't have you, first of all, have you been to Old Tiger Stadium before?
No, I never got the chance to be to Old Tiger Stadium, and I never got the chance to go to Comerica yet. That is actually something I'm planning to do this summer. I'm going to do a little tour over there. I want to catch a Tigers game. I want to catch a Lions game. So
okay. So I got to tell you, Old Tiger Stadium was the most unique thing because they had these beams that from the field level to the second deck that would hold up everything, right?
awesome.
But they had seats behind them. And gosh, when was it? 98, 99. I was back in Detroit again. And I called up a buddy of mine, said, hey, you want to go to a game? He said, sure, let's take the kids. And I said, okay. So we went down. Back then, it wasn't internet. So we picked up the cell phone, I picked up my phone, which the cell phones like cost like $1 a minute or something like that. And instead of using his landline, I'm an idiot on my brick cell phone, trying to call these guys to set up. And they said, oh, you want to go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Anytime? I said, sure, Thursday, Friday, preferably. They said, hey, we've got a new series starting with the Anaheim Angels. Are you interested? I'm like, dang it, I live 15 minutes away from that stadium. Hey, can you bring somebody else in to play the Tigers? I could care less about the Angels.
Fair.
And so, true story, and you'll love this. True story. I'm sitting on the field level, and there's this beam that you can buy a freaking seat behind. So I'm like this watching the pitcher, and then the pitcher would come and I have to go. I'm like, who set this thing up? And so
totally.
So now fast forward a number of years later, I'm back in Detroit. It's got to be 06, 07, 08, something like that. And I'm back in Detroit, and my buddy calls me up, and he says, hey, you want to go to the new ballpark? And I said, sure. And he lives up in Bay City area. So I said, sure, I'm already down here, meet me over here. And he says, okay, cool. So I said, I call again. Who are they playing? Oh, they're playing the Anaheim Angels. I'm like, oh, dear Lord. Come on. Do they ever not play anybody but the Angels?
You can't get away from them, man. You can't get away from them.
So outside of Comerica, so like Old Tiger Stadium, you can just walk up and high five it. It's like an old stadium, right? And where you park, you basically parked. There was a bunch of bars around it. Like there was even one bar that had a big sign in Old Tiger Stadium that said, free parking with purchase of 1 beer before the game. I'm like, good, drink and drive. Got it. Love it. So over in Comerica, I'm parking in this parking structure. It's like an office building parking structure. And I'm crossing the street, and I'm crossing it diagonal, not like north, south, east, west, like you normally would.
Kitty corner.
It's like kitty corners. Exactly. So I'm crossing this, and the crossing guard, who's a cop, looks at me and he goes, "Hey, brother," and I'm like, "Brother, huh? Okay." He goes, "Hey, brother, you gonna be walking back by yourself?" And I said, "Nah, man, I plan to walk back with about 25,000 people. I'm hoping." And he goes, "Yeah, man, you don't want to
Right.
at night. You don't want to walk back here by yourself." Like, good to know. So as people were
Welcome to
walking out
Detroit.
and going towards that structure, I'm like, "Woo, gotta go."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Co-America is a fun park to be at, man. You are going to love. We're gonna do another one of these things after you've been to Co-America because
Oh, I
it's
love it, man. Yeah. I just the lions, I mean, the tigers that are right in the front that are just
mhm.
sitting there, the Statue West, man. Yeah, I can't wait for that experience.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
I
awesome.
I have to tell you, Old Tiger Stadium, besides for that stupid beam, it was a baseball park, man. It
Yeah.
wasn't what you see nowadays where we've got to entertain everybody, right? I mean, at baseball
Hmm.
parks back in the 80s and 90s, man, you had people watching the game. You didn't see this with the cell phones taking selfies. Who cares? Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, it's a lot like that. It's like that article that you had, just a little plug for that because it was a phenomenal article about really the love of the game versus the love of commercialism. And to go to the park and have it just be the park, like going to Wrigley Field. I mean, Egypt and Dodger Stadium, it's just those parks have such a history. So yeah, I do. I wish I did get a chance to go to
mhm,
Tiger Stadium. Yeah, that would have been great.
yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's a freaking phenomenal stadium. So, so now
Hmm.
you being a Tigers fan, have you caught an Angel game out in California? You said you were in California. I'm not quite sure where you're at now, but have you caught an Angel game when the Tigers were in town?
I did. I did. Whenever we come out here, the Angels like to absolutely trounce us. That day, my mom and I went, and I think it was something like 13-2, and that was, it was hot. It was horrible. I think we left sixth inning because it was just she couldn't stand the heat, and I was like, okay, let's get out of here. We're just not playing anyway. Um, so yeah, I've always noticed whenever the Tigers come to town to Angel Stadium, we usually don't do so well. But yeah, I've caught a couple there.
Which also was this last weekend.
Mm, mm,
So, but
yeah,
Shohei
I
didn't,
believe it.
he didn't do you any favors, man. That guy's playing both ways so well right now. So well
Oh
right now.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. No,
oh,
he's people are talking about him.
yeah, and he's gonna be in the home run derby too. If I were the Angels, I'd be like, no, 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 no. You are not gonna get yourself hurt. We need you both ways. Sorry, do the home run derby when we're done
Mm,
with you pitching. No,
yeah,
but it doesn't work that
boy,
way, right?
yeah. No,
So,
it does not.
so, all right. So, tell me about a couple of your favorite Tigers. Maybe we'll go around by position, but tell me about a couple of your favorite Tigers.
Well, really going from 2006 to 2012. I mean, it all starts with Jimmy Leland. Uh,
Okay,
the man was a legend in my book. I mean, the Sparky Andersons, the Jim Lelands, the Detroit Tigers. That was leadership. That was solid leadership. So I love Jim Leland. Starts there. Um, then you just start going through, who your pitching staff is. I mean, Verlander, incredible. Fernando Rodney, when he was closing up and he was making that happen, man, he was just awesome to watch. He was so strong. Came out there, was just a beast on the mound, man.
yeah,
Um, the problem back with there with pitching was always our mid game. Our closers were great, our starters were great. It was always our mid game that seemed to be the tough thing. Um, you can go into a lot. I mean, Placido Polanco, you had him. Brandon Inge was there. Um, and then you really get into what my outfield was with Maglio Ordonez, all-time favorite. That guy,
curly
the
hair.
way, and the way he played, man. And I think it was that year when he hit one out, the walk-off for us to go to the World Series against Oakland. Oh my God. Watching those was so intense for me. My kids would be running around and I'd be sitting in the sitting there watching the TV, and I had a hoodie on that was pulled like this. I mean, every pitch was crazy for me. It was so good. Those I just enjoyed that. And one of the things I loved about the Tigers is they built that team and they committed to that team to help the city have something to cheer about. Um, and I love that the intention of what they were building was to give back to a city that was loved and to give passion and to really bring a joy to a city that has had a road that's not the easiest. And I love that kind of thing. I love giving back. It's about the people, it's about the fans, it's about rocking like that.
Um, so one of my favorite Tigers of all time, and this goes back to that team too, is I can't remember if he was on the World Series team or not, but I love Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera is fun to
Oh,
watch.
absolutely.
I know he's
Oh,
slowing down, but he's still amazing.
mhm,
I mean, he's a first
mhm.
ballot Hall of Famer, and he's amazing, right?
Yeah, easy. Oh, easy. He was so good. He was so good. Every time he hit the plate, I mean, you never know what's going to happen. His power was incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And it just, I mean, and I love watching some of the jokes that he and um, Adrian Beltre played on each other, and I just love the camaraderie that he has with the fans when he goes up and fist bumps a little kid or gives them his batting gloves or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. I was also
No, he always was. Yeah.
I was also thinking about some old school Tigers too. And the first old school
Mm,
Tiger that I'll think about and I'll tell you about is somebody that the Dodgers had too and have a lot of Dodger history for that one season is Kirk Gibson.
mm. Yeah.
1984
Oh, for
World
sure.
Series, man. Goose Gossage doesn't want to walk him. Boom. Yeah, exactly. Boom. And he
Mm-hmm.
hits that home run up into the
Mm-hmm.
upper deck, and Sparky Anderson's yelling as seeds are flying out of his mouth. He don't want to walk ya. He don't want to walk ya. As Kirk Gibson's running around the bases. I mean, that was a Detroit boy right there in and of itself.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and that's the
Yeah.
great thing too, is that when you fall in love with Detroit, when you see your boys go and do something great, it's awesome for me. To see him pull that off, that's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to see that day for him. I mean, it's the same thing with for me, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer. To see those guys get the credit they deserve. I mean, phenomenal pitchers. Scherzer, man, he's such a bulldog, dude.
Yeah,
Like
he is.
when he's pissed and he gets on that mound, you're done. You're done.
I
So
saw
it's
that.
just yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. It's just what?
No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I saw this little kid when I was watching an Arizona Philly game, and I don't remember what year it was, but it was someplace in around 2008. This little rinky-dinky kid named Max Scherzer pitching for the Diamondbacks. And
Mm-hmm.
this guy could throw 100 mile an hour, and you just didn't know where it was going to go. But I looked at my buddy, who was a huge Yankee fan, and I said, if this kid figures out control, he'll be phenomenal in
Mm-hmm.
the MLB. But he figured out control all right because
And he was
he's had
phenomenal
a
in the MLB.
yeah, he's had a great career in Washington, a great career in Detroit. So
Yeah, he
yeah.
absolutely did. He was awesome to watch. Awesome to watch. And then there was another guy on the roster. I can't remember his name right now. He had he had his it was it a perfect game or a no hitter
Oh
going
yeah.
into the last out.
Yeah.
That was
Um
tough.
Abanez. No, what was his name? What was the
Mm-mm,
kid's name?
mm-mm.
I'll tell you right now. Yeah, and the ground ball to Cabrera, which he stepped on first, and he should have been out, but Jim Joyce blew the call, right?
Yeah, it was about two
Yep,
steps away, and he blew the call.
yep. Um,
Ooh,
yeah, Jim Joyce blew that call, but uh, Armando Galarraga, or yeah, Armando
yep,
Galarraga near
Galarraga.
perfect game, June 2nd, 2010. And yeah, and the next day, Galarraga takes the lineup card out, and Jim Joyce is at home plate. So the umpires do the rotation. They start at third base, then they go to second, then they go to first, and they go to home, right? And so it was Jimmy Joyce's day to be at the plate, and Galarraga takes the lineup card, and he pats him on the shoulder or touches his shoulder or whatever, and Jim Joyce taps him on the chest like that. It just total bro move, but it was great. I loved it. I loved every minute of that.
Yeah.
That's what makes baseball great, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. People are human, man.
People
are human.
That's what makes baseball great. Well, I got to tell you, so you've got some Tigers that I remember watching. So I was a huge baseball guy in the 80s, right? With the Dodgers and the infield and stuff like that. But in the 80s, not only did you have Kurt Gibson, but you had a great relief pitcher in Willie Hernandez. Phenomenal relief pitcher. I think he was on the mound when you guys closed it up against the Padres. You had Lance Parrish behind the
85?
plate. Yeah, 84. Yeah, Lance Parrish behind the plate. You had Sweet Lou Whitaker at second base. You remember Sweet Lou?
Sweet Lou.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Alan
Trammell.
Trammell, right? And
Chet Lemon.
Yeah, Chet Lemon in the outfield. You even had long before this, but you even had Ty Cobb. Ty Cobb wore a Tigers jersey.
Oh yeah.
So did Al Kaline. So did Henry Greenberg. Right. I mean, all these guys. These guys were phenomenal. But
history.
If you had three players, Detroit Tiger players that you could sit down and have a conversation with just because you were a guy fan and you just wanted to talk to these dudes, who would it be?
I think Ty Cobb would be really interesting to talk to, just because it's so far back in the day, and there's so much about that era that I don't understand, and that would answer a lot of questions just about the game and about how it was played and how he played. I would love Verlander. I'd love to sit with him. I'd love to sit with Leland. Kirk Gibson, I think, would be a great one to talk to too. Sparky Anderson. I mean, like, there's
Kurt Gibson would be fun, man, but he's crazy, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what's fun, right?
Yeah.
Weird is awesome to me. So I let's get weird. It's fine with me. I enjoy it. I enjoy something where it gets a little bit it's not the same. It's beyond the norm. You're not getting the same answers that everybody gives. Scherzer, I think, would be great for that too. But yeah, Whitaker, I think Lee would be great. Chet Lemon. I mean, there's so many. But Sparky and Leland, I think, would be an amazing thing to just to pick a mind of two incredible leaders that you just sitting at home, you want to do anything for them, and the team did the same.
Yeah, no, totally. Totally agree with you. So I just looked up some stuff here, and you're going to find this interesting. So I agree with you. Sparky Anderson would be fun. Ty Cobb would be even more fun because of the era that he played in. And Sparky Anderson would be a hoot. Kurt Gibson would be that guy that you wanted to sit down at a bar with and just have a quick conversation with, right? It's like, hey, how's it going, brother? Tell me about. But get this. Miguel Cabrera has 492 home runs. Do you want to know how many of those have been hit in a Tigers jersey?
How many?
350.
Wow.
So 142 were hit in a Florida Marlins, not Miami Marlins jersey. And your boy is still signed for another 4 years. Now, granted, they're going to pay him 120 million over those next 4 years.
Not bad.
But I mean, he's not begging for scraps, right? He'll be just fine. But I found that
he earned his way. He earned his way for sure. He earned his way for sure.
That's true. But what's nice about that is, he can go another 4 years. he may end up hitting another 100 home runs, maybe 110 or so. It'll give him over 600 home runs. That means he'll have come close to 500 home runs in a Tigers jersey. That becomes the best of the best, right? I mean, does it get any better? All right, Andy.
No, awesome.
Andy, tell me in 30 seconds why a top fan ought to be a Tigers fan. They're not having the best of season right now, but tell me why a Tiger fan. We know why you're a Tiger fan, but tell me why we should be a Tiger fan.
To be a Detroit fan is to be loyal, pure and simple, man. If you're with the Detroit anything, you are loyal, and it's a reflection on that. Honestly, there's history. They've been around. They've had some of the best coaches. Just to go into who they are and what they've done for the city, to play selflessly, to make someone better and to make a people better and a culture better in a city, that's absolutely worth applauding and getting behind. To be a Detroit player is to love your city, to love your fans, and to give back. And that's in the Tigers, that's in the Lions. I mean, we're going to miss Matt Stafford, man. What he did was absolutely beautiful for that town, for that city. And it's the same for the players, both Miggy's, Verlander. It was hard for him to leave too, because that was his home. And that's what it is. It's a home. It's a loyal, loving place, man. And yeah, they have their strife, but that's what everybody gets behind and makes better.
Yeah.
So to me, it's about heart. It's about heart.
Top fans, I've done a lot of these interviews, as you know, and that's probably the best answer I've heard for why to be a fan of something. I love that, Andy. Great answer. And Verlander, I'm disappointed that he plays for the Asterix, but you know, what can you do, right?
Yeah.
What could you do?
It's fair.
Well,
it's fair.
Well, Andy, I'd love to have you back another time, maybe with a couple of other dudes, and we can chat. If you'd like to join us again, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, I love the invitation, man. That sounds great to me. Thank you.
Awesome. Top fans, Andy's been with us today. We've discussed the Detroit Tigers. He has given you the best reason for being a Tiger fan, best one that I've heard so far, and best one for being loyal. I love that word. So feel free to watch the video, make comments if you like it, subscribe. We love having you. Andy, again, hats off, my friend. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.